Wallace.
And I have Don Holly here with me.
3 phases, dressage, cross-country, show jump. And you're out on course and something's going wrong or going right. You know how to react to what they're doing.
It was built originally to be a schooling facility, and so everything's set up very conveniently.
Welcome to the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros, and we are here at Brickfield Farm.
Oh my God, you got it.
Yeah, thanks for having us out, guys.
Yeah, what a great show we have coming up for everybody. Billy Turner,
Triple Crown winner
of Seattle Slew.
That's amazing.
A special guest appearance by Elisa and a special horse.
That's right.
And Andrea Baxter.
Yeah, from out in California. Andrea Baxter's ridden around Burley, Kentucky, Maryland. She's trying to get the badminton.
Right. On a cool thoroughbred mare.
Yep, Indy 500. And also her family owns Twin Rivers.
Yeah, which is in our interviews, I learned all kinds of stuff. I should have known that. But what a cool story she has to tell. You have been doing what?
So I've been getting ready for Christmas.
You have.
So
I'm jealous because we're usually ready.
Right.
And now because we all talk about our trip, we're not ready.
Yeah, so I got the jump start on you. I got my tree up. We got Santa. We have a statue at the front of our property. We decorated every Christmas.
Who asked about that and asked, was it Chester? Somebody. It was Chester.
Yeah. We got the Santa suit on now. The house is pretty much all decorated. Every year, we went this year, we got away from the string lights, and I've got the spotlights now that put the snowflakes on the side of the house.
Is that easier?
Oh, it's so much easier. I don't know if it looks as good, but it's just stick them in the ground and you're done. The
Sounds
convenient
like
Christmas.
I think I need to try.
Oh, it's great. Lowe's or Home Depot, any of those places.
I'm going to go try if they're not sold out. We'll do that.
It's awesome. Got to do it. And then we had rocking horse going on as well.
Right. And I saw that there are people showing the Laws had a ton of won everything, right?
Yeah, I pulled all the shoes off of mine. They're not doing anything, but everybody else apparently is still eventing.
Well, evidently, as we will learn in the interviews coming up, there was a really special mare that raced that didn't have her shoes put on until right before the race.
Right, so maybe I should throw the shoes on and go.
Just before eventing.
Right
before you go out.
Perfect.
We went to the UK.
Yeah, so I want to hear all about this trip.
So, unfortunately, you and Elisa both lost horses pretty close together, and I felt like we were looking here in the United States, which I've always said we should be able to find something here, but it seems like everything out there is so priced high that we decided to go, why don't we go shopping in the UK? And, most people like you or other people, I did call Mike Winter.
Yep.
And the thing with that is Elisa had already found some horses, and, I understand exclusivity. And, it's right when you go over and you're working with somebody that they,
and what ends up happening, sometimes you get so many cooks in the kitchen, everybody wants a piece.
Right. So I said, thanks, Mike, and I appreciate it because they find great horses for a lot of people. But we went over kind of a wing and a prayer, and I cashed in a bunch of miles, and we jumped on Delta, and, we went over. We looked at some horses that Elisa had found. We both were in the UK and went to Ireland. It was like the Amazing Race because Briggs and I, we were in rental cars and driving places and going to the bottom of Ireland to the top of Ireland. And
now I heard Briggs does really well with getting motion sick.
Well, evidently, we met up with Lucinda Green because Lissa Green, she had some horses we went to go look at as well. Then Lucinda, when we came over and looked at a horse called Rencum Corsair, which is a young rider's horse up outside of Marlborough, she went to look at it for the second time with us. She got into the car and she goes, I can't sit in the back. I get car sick. Well, Elisa gets car sick because she's got to sit up front. And so now Elisa, of course, is going to give in to,
I'd let Lucinda sit in front.
You sit up front. Well, Briggs is always really quiet and he'll do whatever, right?
Right.
I'll sit wherever you want me to sit.
That's one of my favorite things about Briggs.
He's so nice.
Yeah.
Well, he moved to what is the left side, which is our to the left side, which he's usually on the right side in the back seat.
Yeah, I've found even just that can make me a little motion sick.
Well, that I didn't realize made
Right.
him sick.
Right.
So we're driving, and Elisa's right in the middle, like looking up between me and Lucinda, and we're about an hour and 15 minutes in. I hear the window get down and spitting. I'm like, why is he spitting?
Oh, no.
And then I heard more, and I was like, and Lucinda's
get
going,
sick while you're going down the highway.
is he going to get sick? And then it's on video. So
love it.
They're all going, pull over. I'm driving on the wrong side of the road already, and there's no, you know how skinny it is there. Anyway, we get pulled over, and poor guy gets out. He was a trooper, but found 2 horses.
Yep.
One in Ireland, which is a cute little Spitfire of a mare, and a pretty cool horse that's in England. We will let Elisa do the unveil or reveal as soon as the bettings are done on Thursday.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, very exciting, very cool. And to my point on pricing, we found really nice horses for, we could afford.
Right. No, that's great. That's great.
So.
Exciting.
But you have a new title.
I do have a new title. So
You love the title.
Yeah.
You wear it well.
I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of work to do. So so now Mike Huber has been the chairman of the Eventing Sport Committee for several years.
Yeah, and Mike always brings a smile to my face because he started the modified division.
That's right.
I told you, you'll be a great person in that if you can start a new division.
So I've got to decide what I'm going to do.
Where should it be?
I don't know.
Should it be before starters? Could we call pre-starters?
Hole and ground division.
I kind of like that one.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so what do you do? What is your title?
So I am now the new chairman of the Eventing Sport Committee. So obviously, we can get into it a little bit. We maybe got into it a little bit earlier about it as
I like
well.
getting into it with you. But we're going to go on the side of, there's been some news that everybody knows about now. So Eric DeVander is gone, and Jenny Autry. So what is the role of your committee in any of this stuff that's happening in our sport?
Well, so the Eventing Sport Committee is, it's the USEF committee. It is the committee that's in charge for, a
Is it oversight?
term. It is oversight. It really is the committee that makes the decisions for eventing in the sport. It manages and runs the sport on the committee level.
So you approve budgets? Do you approve things for different
rules
sections,
come through
rules?
us? Absolutely. Okay. Communication through the FEI. Obviously, that all comes through the staff in the office. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one thing that's really important that I want to make sure is out there for everybody to know, is that even though Eric and Jenny are gone, all of the programs at the USEF, particularly as they pertain to high performance, because that's what's in question right now, that's all still in place. Everything is running. The selection procedures are set for next year's
just
games.
because those people are gone doesn't mean the intricate parts of what's going.
The office staff, I can tell you, I had a meeting with them like 2-3 days ago, and that whole crew is on the ball. They started this sort of meeting with me and brought me up to speed on a lot of stuff.
That's cool.
And I was very impressed. Like the staff at USEF, they are on it. And obviously there is a lot of work to do now going forward and figuring out.
Do you feel that pressure?
I do.
Do you, is for people listening, Eric was under contract, right? A 4-year contract.
Yeah, and so his contract was up, and at the end of, I think one thing that's important to know is that,
because it's a contract. We knew his contract was coming up.
And so after the Olympic Games, all of the Olympic disciplines were reviewed.
Right.
So jumping was reviewed, dressage was reviewed, eventing was reviewed, everything got looked at. And that's the way it's done. That's the normal way that it always runs.
Right.
And so after that review, they decided not to renew Eric's contract for whatever reason. And so now
here we are now. Now, was Jenny an employee of the USEF, or was she under contract as well?
No, she was an employee.
Okay. So we're looking for a new what was her title?
I think her title, I believe, is Managing Director of Eventing.
So we're looking for another one of those.
Yes, they will be looking for a new Managing Director.
Of course, I hear everybody say, "Oh, we want Joni back," and I'm like,
Joni was awesome.
I don't think Joni's coming back.
No, I don't think Joni's coming back. Joni, I know, actually I've spoken to Joni, and I know she's willing to help out.
That's good.
But yeah, so looking for new Managing Director of Eventing.
I think Sheila Costello should get that job.
Sheila Costello would be great.
But anyway, keep going.
But they're gonna.
You're just who you are.
I'm just the I'm just, at the end of the day, I'm actually just the guy who runs the meeting. That's
Right.
really what the chairman does,
Right.
It's all about
Do you
the
have to
committee
take
members.
the minutes, or do you have somebody to
No,
do
we
that?
have people who do that, thank gosh. But no, it's a great committee. They're all really hardworking people.
Yeah.
And again, I'm just going to be the guy who sort of runs the meeting for them.
Well, there's a lot to do now.
There is a lot to do, and then the question really for that committee and for USEF leadership is going to be, what's that new high performance program going to look like? And
Right.
that's going to be, I mean, the one thing I can say is it's going to be decided in pretty short order.
Well, I know we've had the conversations off camera that Eric got some good results.
Yep.
Also, based on that fact and across from his program, and I know that I've even talked to some of the high performance riders that they benefited from what was being done by Eric. But I think also when we're looking forward, we do have a very deep barrel of a lot of good horses and riders now, more so than we did in the cycle before.
Absolutely. The one thing I will say, and, not that I'm the high performance guy by any stretch, but as
But
the
you
chairman
are.
of the sport
You're the
committee,
chairman,
I'm
right?
a part of that, I guess.
Right.
I'm super excited. I think we've
I am
got
too.
great horses and riders. I think there's no reason that we won't be super competitive next year. I think that it's going to take, going forward, whatever the plan is, it takes individual responsibility by the riders to make sure that they're ready to go and to be competitive, and that is no different than it's ever been.
So to people wondering what's going to happen as we wind down and start our segments that have great people in it, is it a open search contract or RFP for this person?
It's literally, they just decided that they weren't going to be renewing the contracts. This week we have the USEA annual meeting, and that is where all of that is going to get discussed and talked about and get decided.
Well, excellent. We're excited about that, and I know that our show is going to carry on with great people. And
Yeah, so we have coming up our Stress Less segment with the Triple Crown winner, Billy Turner.
I know he's a cool guy. Can't wait to have y'all hear.
And the cool part is, so everybody knows, we have him in here for a couple segments, but we did a lot of talking with Billy, and so there's going to be another extra segment.
It's called the Billy Extra.
Yeah, we'll have that coming out probably on the uncut section.
Yep.
So that'll be out on YouTube at some point as well. So it's going to be awesome. I just could sit and listen to Billy talk for hours.
I know.
So we're going to be right back. I want everybody out there to remember, you guys, we need you to subscribe to YouTube, check out the podcast player, subscribe to that, Facebook, all of that stuff. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to everything. So let's be right back with the Stress Less segment and Billy Turner. Want to advertise on the Jon and Rick Show? Contact Jon at 352-875-8622.
Or call Rick at 850-879-2649.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
You know who really loves horses? Chiros. That's short for chiropractor. My friends Dr. Philip and Dr. Angela from Synchrony Chiropractic taught me that. And right now you can visit KairosLoveHorses.com. That's KairosLoveHorses.com. And mention the Jon and Rick Show when you book for a special treat from these special docs. I now know horses need a chiropractor too. And the team over at KairosLoveHorses.com, that's KairosLoveHorses.com, have got their back. Again, check out KairosLoveHorses.com. That's KairosLoveHorses.com.
Sweet Dixie South is an equestrian facility built for the lifestyle of eventers of all levels. Whether you are coming to Ocala for the entire season, a week, a month, or a year, this beautiful 160-acre farm is the place to settle in and enjoy your time with horses. They offer a full cross-country course with 2 water features, banks, ditches, an amazing footing to gallop, a spectacular all-weather footing ring, large grass jumping fields, and dressage rings. Located in the rolling hills of North Marion County in Reddick, Florida, Sweet Dixie South has 100 stalls and numerous paddocks, apartments, a line of camper hookups, washer and dryer amenities, as well as common areas to complete your experience during your stay. Under the ownership of Mike Campbell and the management of Can-Do Joe Adams of Top Rail Tack, Sweet Dixie South has transformed into a premier eventing training facility in Florida. Go to www.sweetdixiesouth.com for more information. Hey, Rick here. Do you have a horse suffering from poor performance, anxiety and fear, low appetite, agitation, or nervousness? Stress Less can help. Stress Less, the hot horse remedy, is veterinarian-developed, show-safe, all-natural formula that promotes calmness, focus, and mood balance in horses experiencing stress related to training, showing, racing, stall rest, and travel. This equine supplement encourages calmness, focus, and mood balance without affecting the motor skills or energy levels of your horse. It promotes a more willing and balanced temperament with no drowsiness or impaired function, resulting in increased focus, a calm mind, and a happier horse and rider. Try Stress Less today and see for yourself why we think Stress Less is the best hot horse remedy you will find. Check us out at centerlinedistribution.net and on Facebook and Instagram as Stress Less Horse Supplement. Welcome back to the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros, and this segment is a Stress Less segment. And thank you, Stress Less, for being the segment sponsor for this. And we have a great person in our studio today.
Yeah, it's really exciting that we've got Billy Turner here, the Triple Crown winning trainer of Seattle Slew. So thanks for coming in.
Well, it's a great pleasure to be here.
Billy, we appreciate you being here. And when I moved to the Jockey Club in 2019, I kept on hearing that a Triple Crown trainer was on the property. I was like, well, who? And they said, Bill Turner. I was like, what? Of Seattle Slew? So it's been a pleasure. We've known each other for a couple years, and wow, all I can tell you is every time I talk to you, you have so much knowledge. Can you tell us a little bit, when Seattle Slew came into your life and how that became such a great year in 1977?
Well, he was sent to me in Moncton, Maryland, right after they bought him at the sale, in the fall sale. It was the first Fasig-Tipton sale in Florida, or in Kentucky. And it was of course, Keeneland had its nose out of joint because they didn't want the competition.
Right.
And they were sure it would die within the first year. And here, the very first year, they come up with a Triple Crown winner.
Right.
And they didn't get any money for it.
That is true. I watched the documentary, and it was a group of West Coast owners, correct?
Yeah.
From Washington State.
Yeah.
And I think what he sold for $18,000?
$17,500, yeah. Well, the thing is, Jim Hill was my veterinarian in New York.
Right.
And he'd worked on a horse called Bold Reasoning.
Okay.
Who was by Bold Ruler, that kind of stuff.
Which Bold Ruler goes back to a lot of them now.
Yes, and so he was working, and we knew, and Bold Reasoning was stabled right next to me up there in New York, and so I knew him well, and he was a really good horse.
Right.
Really good horse, and a very attractive son of a gun. So when his first crop came out, we were looking for that pedigree, and there it was, and nobody else was. The mare had never produced anything, and it was Bold Reasoning's first crop.
And what was the mare? Putting you on the spot. I can pull it up because it's all right. It's Seattle Slew's mother, but
yeah, but the thing is, she'd run all right, but she wasn't a great race mare. But she crossed well with the Bold Ruler line, and away you went.
Wow. And so, do you got some questions on that? I do know from watching that the documentary that came out that I keep on watching all the time is really, really a good account of what was going on coming up. I don't know how much you feel that's the truth, but you were on it and there's interviews for it. But when the horse went to sale and got purchased, it wasn't a pretty horse, was it?
Well, the only thing is, no, because he was a big boned, and but he hadn't fleshed out at all.
Right.
And so at the sale, he sold too soon, really.
Right.
And so he and they said his legs turned in, yes, but if you know big horses, when their shoulders develop, they straighten up.
Right.
And so by the time he was a 2-year-old ready to run, well, he was correct.
That's amazing.
So I guess my question is, so you have this young horse, and I'm assuming the main reason you picked him out was because of his pedigree, because of his breeding.
That's why we were looking at him in the first place.
Right.
And we're willing to, he was the most expensive horse they bought.
Right.
They bought a dozen. But that's before the market exploded.
Right. But so you bought him, I'm thinking like of myself and people who are going to be watching this, like we all have to go out and find these horses. And I think whatever the discipline, whether it's racing, jumping, eventing, dressage, it's always hard to know with these young horses, how are they going to turn out? And, it's always interesting to me when I talk to amazing horsemen like yourself, what sort of your secret sauce was for finding these horses. And it sounds like it was the breeding, but then also the horsemanship of knowing, okay, yeah, this conformation with these legs turned in a little bit, I'm not worried about that. I've seen them straighten up. And so it was a bit of your knowledge as a horseman as well. Is that fair?
And it's but he had the bone, and also you look him in the eye, and he looked right straight through you.
Right.
Yeah,
he didn't care whether you were there or not. And it wasn't that he didn't like people; he did, but he wasn't lovey-dovey, and he didn't like to be fawned over and all that. Just
his business. He was business.
Admire him, and that was it. And the thing we didn't have an inkling of until the first time we breezed him was the degree of competitiveness he would show, and. But the thing is, the way he was constructed, and when we really put a lot of miles on him before we breezed him the first time. I mean, he had been around the block, but most of it jogging. And then when the first time I breezed him, I put an experienced rider on him well, he was just a good work boy, and he knew what was going on. And I told him, I said, and I had a filly that was an allowance filly in New York, and she, as company, so he'd have a chance to work with something. And but I told Tommy Pascuma was the jock that was on him, and I told him that, Tommy, if this horse gets competitive and he gets to running with you, pull him up right away.
Right.
Because you won't be able to pull him up for 5/8 of a mile.
So I found out the dam's name. My Charmer.
Oh, God.
We had Elisa's here because she sent it to me. My Charmer was the mare.
Right.
So, Billy, with Seattle Slew running, and I know, what was his barn name? He had a.
Well, they gave him the nickname Baby Huey.
That's right.
And because he was the ugly duckling, he was very easy to go on the farm and this, that, and the other thing. And he never got excited about anything. But when he got to the racetrack, he was just as good until he was put in a position where he could run. And he showed it the very first time he was all hell-bent for election. And that's where, and I was very aware of that, because I watched too many good horses go through New York that they got up there and boom, the second time they breeze them or something like that, they go too fast, too far, and bow in front, and then you send them to the farm and never hear them again.
Yeah, you're done. Hey,
Do you want to take a break and then?
yeah, before we do that, I do want to say one other thing. The Offspring, well, when we get, we're going to get to the Offspring, because we're going to show you something pretty soon that I want you to look at, okay, and give me your opinion.
Sure.
All right, but my recollection is under your training with Seattle Slew, Baby Huey, he was the first Triple Crown winner not to have been defeated.
That's right.
Going up to the Triple Crown.
He was the first undefeated Triple Crown winner.
And there's only just recently where a horse was another one like that broke that record.
Right. That was.
I can't remember. It was just recently, Billy. And we'll look back and look at it, but it wasn't too long ago. And I always thought that was a big accomplishment for you.
It's about. Well, the thing is, it was. It was shucks.
Yeah, we'll look it up during
We'll look it up in the break, and we'll have it when we come back.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So let's do that. Let's take a quick break. Thank you to Stressless for sponsoring this segment, and we are going to be right back after these messages.
Hey, Rick here. Do you have a horse suffering from poor performance, anxiety and fear, low appetite, agitation, or nervousness? Stressless can help. Stressless, the hot horse remedy, is veterinarian-developed, show-safe, all-natural formula that promotes calmness, focus, and mood balance in horses experiencing stress related to training, showing, racing, stall rest, and travel. This equine supplement encourages calmness, focus, and mood balance without affecting the motor skills or energy levels of your horse. It promotes a more willing and balanced temperament with no drowsiness or impaired function, resulting in increased focus, a calm mind, and a happier horse and rider. Try Stressless today and see for yourself why we think Stressless is the best hot horse remedy you will find. Check us out at centerlinedistribution.net and on Facebook and Instagram as Stressless Horse Supplement.
Hi, I'm John Halling, and this is my wife Jen, and we run Halling Eventing out of Willow Run Farm here in Ocala, Florida. We love our Jump for Joy jumps.
We are standing in front of one of my favorites, which is our Jump for Joy angled brush, which we have up on our bank complex so we can prepare the horses for the 3 days that are coming up. And it is very mobile, and we can put it anywhere we need to give the horses the questions that they need to see before we go and compete.
So we love them for cross country. We also have them in our show jump ring. They're great. You never have to paint them. Maintenance is super easy. And like Jen was saying, the shoulder brush here and any of the portable cross-country jumps that Jump for Joy makes are great. They're easy to move around, change the courses. We love them.
You can put them in the water jump. You can put them anywhere you want.
So if you're looking for some new show jumps, some new cross-country jumps, check out Jump for Joy.
Welcome to Terranova Equestrian Center, located in Mayaca City, Florida, just a short drive from some of the nation's top beaches.
As a competitor, one of the most important things we look for when planning our competition calendar is the quality of course design and footing for our beloved equine athletes.
We are so excited to host our inaugural event, the Event at Terranova, this fall. This event was thoughtfully created by some of the most innovative and experienced minds in our sport.
The courses are run over gorgeous terrain, and we are proud to offer custom drainage and irrigation throughout all levels of competition. Terranova is certainly the gold standard, with 6 Wordley Martin GGT arenas and a Captain Mark Phillips designed and Eric Bull built cross-country course, complete with frangible technology.
We hope to create a special experience for all levels of riders.
Whether you're experiencing your first horse show or are a seasoned Olympic athlete, Terranova is excited to welcome you.
Summit Joint Performance, the injectable joint supplement used by numerous international and Olympic riders, invites you to experience the winning Summit difference. Made of all natural ingredients, Summit increases mobility and comfort. Win your class with Summit Joint Performance. Grant Showalter has over 15 years of equine bodywork and saddle fitting experience. His technique uses manual pressure and stretching to release points of restriction, leading to freer movement, reduced soreness, and restored range of motion. He has a thorough understanding of the importance of a properly fitted saddle. You can quickly identify and correct any balance issues and can adjust your saddle on site. I personally have Grant work on all of my event horses to keep them feeling their best before, during, and after their competitions. Grant is based in Florida year-round, but regularly travels to Georgia, Tennessee, and the surrounding areas. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 484-639-4454.
Munson Slew, grandson of Seattle Slew. You've seen him a couple of years ago. Here he is. What do you think?
Well, I saw him a year ago, and he has developed so much since then, you can't believe it.
And you were talking about what you saw in Seattle Slew's eye, right? There's something that they kind of see right through you.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
And this one, just so you know,
no apprehension whatsoever.
He's fast as fast can be. Elisa, tell him how fast this one is.
He's pretty quick.
Well, the thing is, when you see these angles, I knew right away the son was going to run.
Right.
But they're going to be jumping him, so I won't get into that.
Well, he is a great cross-country jumper. I think where he falters a little bit is in the show jump, just because he jumps a little bit flat.
Yeah, so quick.
But his record on cross-country is, he's pretty much at 95% on clear on the
this year.
On the speed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's easy to make time.
He's fast.
Yeah, it's easy to make time.
So how many other Offspring did well for Seattle Slew?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, just off the rock, not that you got to name them.
Out of his first crop, he had 2 champions.
Yeah.
Land of Loose and Slow of Gold, and maybe Sloopy was the same year. I think he was. And,
so he was known as a pretty good producer of racehorses, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, he was. He by the time he retired, he'd earned more than $200 million in stud fees.
Oh my God!
I mean, I will tell you, with the horses, the thoroughbreds I've had in my barn, I think nearly all of them, if you look back in their pedigree, have Seattle Slew in them. It's just, I mean, he's everywhere. He's just.
It's rare that you're finding like he's grandson. Mostly you see great grandson, but not too many grandsons of Seattle Slew.
Right.
So he's only once removed, which is kind of cool. And the funny thing about Munson, Billy, is he was bred by a woman in Tallahassee, Florida, a little backyard lady that bred the horse. His registered.
How did she get to Slew?
She got to Chesterfield Slew.
Oh, it's Chesterfield. Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's the son of Seattle, but she named him Mac Daddy Slew.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a great name.
When I got him as a 4-year-old, she jokingly said his name's Munson Slew, and I was like, in my head, I was like, Munson Slew, that's a cool name. Well, Munson Slew, Sleough, is a swamp in Tallahassee.
Oh my God!
So
you got it.
So it stuck, and when she saw I was showing him under Munson Slew, she goes, "Oh, Rick, his name's Mac Daddy Slew." I was like, "It's not anymore. It's Munson Slew."
Well, I'd tell you a story about.
Come over here. We're going to come back and sit down.
How Slew got his name was when I first saw the horse at the farm in Maryland,
Right.
he'd been there for a day or so, or something
Right.
like that, and so I went out there and looked at him. He was in the paddock, and big, strong son of a gun. I said he has all the right angles and plenty of bone, but being big, overgrown, he was cowhock behind. That was just because he wasn't. And I said to my wife, I said, I'm surprised that Jim Hill would buy, that was the veterinarian, would buy a slew-footed son of a bitch like this.
So he got slew-footed and slew the swamp.
Right. So now, the thing is that the word got back to state of Washington out there that what I'd said and so forth. So they named him. Well, since the people were from Seattle, they named him Seattle Slew.
And that was it.
But now the first thing he's champion 2-year-old right off the bat. He only runs 2 races, and then he runs the fastest mile that a 2-year-old's ever run.
Oh my gosh!
It is in the Champagne, and when you win the Champagne in those days, and usually you're the champion 2-year-old. So I'm having a drink after the races at whatever, and Jim Hill came in and he said, he said, we're going to have to change the way we talk about this horse. And he said because he has real stud potential, but being slew-footed won't sell. And so
it's in his name.
So we said, we're in the they're loggers,
right?
And they cut the trees down and they put them in these sloughs and they float them down to the river to the sawmill and all that kind of stuff. So they deal with sloughs all the time. So it was natural. Right. Seattle Slew.
There we go. That's how it came through. And Seattle, look at Munson trying to get a hold of you.
He wants to be on the show.
You notice, but he doesn't bite.
Nope.
And Slew is the same way. He would, if he showed you any interest in you at all, he wouldn't bite you.
He wouldn't bite you. So when you were coming up, I know there was a lot of stuff happening, and that was a pivotal year for you, right? A Triple Crown winner.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a lot of pressures going on. I hear you talk all the time, and you talking about horses and their shapes and their sizes, but in that year, did you know you had a Triple Crown winner?
Well, that was where I really, sitting in a bar after the champagne, it was whatever, after dinner and so forth, and there was a guy sitting there that next to me that I didn't know, and he said, Bill, he said that horse that you just ran today looks like he has a good chance of winning the Derby. And I said, never, right off the top of my head, if he doesn't win the Triple Crown, I didn't do my job. And
that's a big statement.
And I did well. It was John Preachy, and it was his first year with Newsday. And I didn't know that.
You didn't know who he was.
So he wrote the whole article. So now I had to live with, there goes the Triple Crown trainer, ha ha ha.
Oh, man. Thank goodness you came through.
Well, you knew what you were talking about. You were the Triple Crown winner.
But there's an awful lot that goes to that.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. And there's,
particularly when you watch the Derby, and at the break, that was almost the end of it.
Right.
Because the assistant starter, he was nervous as hell about handling Slew, and he didn't turn him loose when the gate opened. So he came over and he hit the inside, and and if there's somebody has a picture of, well, one of the newspapers got a picture of Krugay is out of the saddle, and he just got settled back in there and picked him up and steered him through traffic, because the horse was, the biggest worry I always had with him as a young horse was that if he got in behind a bunch of horses, you could be in trouble because he was going to go through them.
Oh.
And and the thing is, but I didn't worry about the Derby, because you'd worry about it in other races because it takes your number down. But as I told Krugay before the Derby, the last thing I told him is, remember, they don't take any numbers down in the Derby, and they never had. And so there you go.
Wow.
But he came out of there, and as soon as he was back there, you had sharp riders in front of you, Cordero and Shoemaker, and I can't remember, it was Vasquez, I think it was, and they were going to close him up, but he just blasted through there. And knocked him sideways and kept right on going.
So that was when that happened, Billy, you must have been elated. I mean, that must have just...
Well, I couldn't see all that, you see.
Right.
First of all, when you go at Churchill Downs, you go and saddle your horse, and you go out with Slew. He was the crowds turned him on.
Right.
And just he fed off the energy, and so I walked out to the racetrack with him. Well, once you get to the racetrack, there's no chance of you ever getting to a seat. And so I ducked back into the first thing that goes into the grandstand when you come out of the paddock, and there's a bar there, and I watched the race on the television.
Really? Wow.
That was probably
because I couldn't
better view. Right.
I wouldn't have seen anything if I. And then all I noticed is the gate opened and I couldn't find him, and I thought, well, I can't find him now. He isn't anywhere. And he wasn't.
Hey, we've got a lot more to talk about. Can you stick around for a little bit longer?
Sure.
So we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to let Munson go back to his stall, and we're going to talk some more because you got 2 more legs to go.
Okay. All right.
Great.
Munson, you're a good boy.
Yeah.
The holidays may seem far away, but they're really just around the corner. If you're looking for a heartwarming and custom gift to give this year, consider commissioning a piece by Tegan Henderson at Creature Feature Portraits. Choose between glasses or canvas to immortalize your beloved horses and pets. Creature Feature Portraits provides affordable and classy artwork for you and your home. Find Tegan on Instagram at creature_feature_portraits. And to inquire about commissions and pricing, text her at 774-278-1492.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Hey, Rick here. Do you have a horse suffering from poor performance, anxiety and fear, low appetite, agitation, or nervousness? Stress Less can help. Stress Less, the hot horse remedy, is veterinarian-developed, show-safe, all-natural formula that promotes calmness, focus, and mood balance in horses experiencing stress related to training, showing, racing, stall rest, and travel. This equine supplement encourages calmness, focus, and mood balance without affecting the motor skills or energy levels of your horse. It promotes a more willing and balanced temperament with no drowsiness or impaired function, resulting in increased focus, a calm mind, and a happier horse and rider. Try Stress Less today and see for yourself why we think Stress Less is the best hot horse remedy you will find. Check us out at centerlinedistribution.net and on Facebook and Instagram as Stressless Horse Supplement.
Summit Joint Performance, the injectable joint supplement used by numerous international and Olympic riders, invites you to experience the winning Summit difference. Made of all natural ingredients, Summit increases mobility and comfort. Win your class with Summit Joint Performance.
Welcome back to the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros, and we are super excited to be joined by Andrea Baxter. Andrea is a top international adventurer for the U.S. She's ridden around all the big 5 stars that we would know of: Kentucky, Burley, just did Maryland. Yeah,
Maryland,
really good there. So
I've been
Andrea,
trying
thanks
to
for joining us.
badminton for a while. It's been a struggle.
So, well, that's a great place to start. So you just jumped around Maryland. So how did Indy 500 come out of that?
She's great. Yeah, she Sunday morning was a bit rough. we went into Maryland knowing we had a sore foot issue, and I kind of went there thinking, well, Sunday might be a bit of a sad day for me. And Boyd and I were in the Sunday morning hold, or not hold, but we were the last ones to go, and we were out there commiserating. He had a saddle and I had a lunge line, and we're like, hey mate, can I trade you? How's that saddle treating you? He's like, good, mate. Can I trade you for that lunge line? Anyways, we both made it through, and it was good. She come out of it fine. She just had a sore foot, and hoping we can get to that damn badminton. I've been trying for like 4 years now.
Well, that's a pretty exciting goal for sure. Maryland, just take us through the cross country there, what you thought of that. Obviously, it's the first time they had a big 5-star, really any event on that piece of property there. So what'd you think of the track and how she handled it?
I mean, I thought the track was great. There was a lot of banter in the barn about people. Everybody was pretty buzzy and stressed out about it. I didn't, Indy's so experienced now that I was almost looking for I was like, there's got to be a trick here that I'm missing, but I wasn't trying to be cocky, but I just didn't think it looked that bad. And, I walked it myself more times than usual because I didn't have anything else to do. I have one horse at the show, and my groom is amazing. So I, just had time, was out walking the course multiple times, and I walked it once by myself, saw Boyd, and tag team walked with him, and saw Phil, tag team walked with him. And I just felt like it didn't tire me out to walk around it. But everyone was really concerned about the fitness. And first horse came in and, was tired, but didn't have too much time. And then after that, it just kind of went rolling, and it seemed like it rode pretty well for everybody. But I saw Ian the night before at dinner, and he was about as white as a ghost. And I said, don't worry, Ian, it's going to be all right, man. I said, it might even be too easy. And I've never seen him so mad. I swear he wanted to punch me. He was pretty riled up about that. So
yeah,
anyways,
I wouldn't think Ian would take that terribly well.
No, he did not. No.
Well, it seems like for yourself anyway, you were probably correct in that it rode great because you ended up double clear on the cross country.
Yeah. And I mean, they dubbed me as the fastest one of the day. And I was like, well, it was wheeled a little short or a little easy,
right.
Technically, the Europeans were all pretty riled up about how soft it was wheeled. And according to how their measurements, we all still would have had time if it was measured properly. So it was a little on the soft side, but I think Ian was being a little, everyone was so stressed about how the fitness was going to go. I think he just wanted it to have a good day. and the weather was amazing, and the footing was perfect. So it was pretty perfect conditions.
Well, and a good horse to be sitting on for sure. With a name like Indy 500, she's going to gallop, and we've all seen her go. So that was pretty cool. Rick, what have you got?
Well, I know Andrea and I were actually neighbors at Maryland, so we kind of giggled and laughed and waved at each other during the week. But Andrea, I know I saw you in the show jump, and I know with foot soreness, and you're talking just like foot soreness, not inside, just outside bruising kind of thing for her foot. You were disappointed in the show jump. I think you had 3.
Yeah.
And it's too bad, because I think had you had your normal show jump, you would have been right up there, right?
Yeah. And I've never had 3 rails down a day in my life. So I was pretty bummed about that. But like I said, to be honest, I went into the show knowing we had a bruised foot, and I was pretty lucky to even be there on Sunday. So
I think to that point, it was jumping, the show jump, you go in there and you always want to go around and have it. And I wasn't pointing it out to bring you down or anything, but I thought your mare looked super. I was watching you go through it, and she was just, I'm always amazed. She's a little Spitfire of a thoroughbred, right? And so, she looked amazing, but rails were kind of, even just a little tick, were kind of coming down, and it was like, where did you end up?
15.
I'll tell you.
Yeah,
19. I don't know,
19.
something like that.
19. Top 20, baby.
Yeah, top 20,
that's
baby.
Amazing. That's amazing. So I got some other questions, Jon. So you mentioned you've been to Burley, and I just got back from England. I got to hang out with where you want to go, the badminton queen. I was with Lucinda Green for the whole week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and her daughter Lissa. So badminton we went in 2017, and I think we were talking that it kind of goes up and down, I think, with any course, of really, really difficult, and all of a sudden the scale goes back down and it comes back up. But I think it's going back on the upswing. Are you still thinking with Indy going to badminton?
I hope so. I've been trying to get there for like 4 years, but it just, between, not quite being ready, or soundness things, or Kentucky kind of just fitting in better. And then the unspeakable situation, 2020.
Sure. Yeah,
and,
right. We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
It's like the Voldemort of the show. We
the bear in the room. The bear in the room we don't talk about. So I hope that she's on track, and she's definitely ready to jump the jumps now. So if I can keep the wheels on the bus, she is going to be 17 next year, and that will be her 8th 5-star. So
wow. That's
trying
impressive.
to keep the wheels on the bus for that could be, I might not be the friendliest all spring.
No, I'm sure you'll get it done, and I certainly hope you get there, because it is an experience. Everybody wants to do badminton, so I hope you make it there. So what's your plans for this? What's your plans leading up to that then? What do you look at in 2022?
I know her so well now that she's not the type that she doesn't do well on the road. She's better at home. She's a very tricky traveler. By tricky, I mean a pain in the absolute ass.
Right.
And that's not gotten any better with age. She's, maybe a little bit, but but at least the only way it's gotten better is because I know how to manage it now. So as fun as it sounds to go east and do things out there to prepare, and I know there's a flight out of Indianapolis, so it'd be cool to go to Kentucky as a prep and all that. But honestly, all that just sounds overwhelming and not ideal. So I'll probably just stay home and do Galway, and off we go. But
and I think to that point, like, not to interrupt, sorry, but that's exactly what you did this past year, right? Like, you did 4 events before Maryland. You started in May, and you did exactly that. You stayed out west, and you know those events, you know how to prep your horse. So that's probably a great plan.
Yeah. I went to Jersey with her 1 year, but she's mostly done all of her preps from California. We have we've gone through a little bit of a bad phase lately with the courses not being as good. But luckily she was kind of ahead of that. She's been going advanced for since she was 7 years old, and she's 17 now. So she's got a lot of mileage on her. So she knows what's up out there now.
Well, with that, as an excellent little tease, we're going to take a little break. And when we get back, I want to talk about the events out west, in particular, one that is pretty near and dear to your heart over there at Twin Rivers. So we want to talk about that. But before we do it, Rick, let's take a quick break and we'll be right back with Andrea Baxter.
Grant Showalter has over 15 years of equine bodywork and saddle fitting experience. His technique uses manual pressure and stretching to release points of restriction, leading to freer movement, reduced soreness, and restored range of motion. He has a thorough understanding of the importance of a properly fitted saddle. You can quickly identify and correct any balance issues and can adjust your saddle on site. I personally have Grant work on all of my event horses to keep them feeling their best before, during, and after their competitions. Grant is based in Florida year-round, but regularly travels to Georgia, Tennessee, and the surrounding areas. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 484-639-4454.
Hi, I'm Liz Halliday Sharp. I'm an international event rider based in Ocala, Florida, and Lexington, Kentucky. We love our Jump for Joy jumps. We're able to take the fillers and portables with us back and forth between our two locations, which is really helpful. And we especially love the cross-country portable fences. We have lots of different ones so that we can bring them between Lexington and Ocala, and we've always got something exciting for the horses to learn and jump over. We love our fences, and we would recommend Jump for Joy to anybody.
When it comes time to compete, I demand the best out of my horses and myself. That's why Elemental Fit Lab, the home of CrossFit antics, is my home gym. Coach Vilma and her team create a fun, welcoming environment for athletes of all levels. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned athlete, Elemental Fit Lab will guide you towards a stronger, healthier version of you. Mention the Jon and Rick Show to get 3 free personal training sessions with enrollment.
Sweet Dixie South is an equestrian facility built for the lifestyle of eventers of all levels. Whether you are coming to Ocala for the entire season, a week, a month, or a year, this beautiful 160-acre farm is the place to settle in and enjoy your time with horses. They offer a full cross-country course with 2 water features, banks, ditches, and amazing footing to gallop, a spectacular all-weather footing ring, large grass jumping fields, and dressage rings. Located in the rolling hills of North Marion County in Reddick, Florida, Sweet Dixie South has 100 stalls and numerous paddocks, apartments, a line of camper hookups, washer and dryer amenities, as well as common areas to complete your experience during your stay. Under the ownership of Mike Campbell and the management of Can-Do Joe Adams of Top Rail Tack, Sweet Dixie South has transformed into a premier eventing training facility in Florida. Go to www.sweetdixiesouth.com for more information. Welcome back to the Jon and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros, and we are still joined by Andrea Baxter from the West Coast. So let's pick up a little bit, Andrea, on how this all began for you. I know you just got finished telling us that Indy has been going since she was a 7-year-old for 10 years. So what has led you through here? Twin Rivers is of course near and dear to you. So take us through your life.
Well, we started, my family and I bought this 500-acre bare piece of farmland, rundown farmland, in 2001. Not to date myself, but when I was in high school, graduating high school. And a couple of the events in California were going out of business or shut down at the moment or whatnot. And my dad was always looking for a bigger piece of property, and he has a paving and excavating business. So he's got all these trucks and tractors, and he does, grading of driveways and makes arenas and all that stuff. So we kind of found this property, and we're like, well, we can multitask and maybe put on a horse show to help pay for it and put my dad's trucks to use and, all that. And we talked to Robert Kellerhouse about it. And I think he thought we were absolutely nuts. He's like, what? No way, you can't do that. And then, yeah, we did. And here we are. And now Robert and I are good buddies. Yeah, it's, basically saved between Robert and I and a few of the others. I mean, there's just not much else in California. So we saved the day, I guess.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
So you run Twin Rivers. Obviously, it was a big part of your preparation for Maryland, because you ran the advanced there, and then you ran the 4 short there as your last run. I know, like for myself, when I used to work for Peter Gray, when I was younger, we ran an event at the farm where we stayed, and I always found it was really difficult to compete from home.
Oh, I hate
What's
it.
that like for you?
It's horrible. I hate it. The babies, it's hard because, the show comes to life and there's all the decoration and the fill and the flags and all that. So it's hard for the babies because everything's new and crazy. And the old campaigners just yawn and get bored. And it's, and then when you do change something, they're not ready. It's hard. It's really hard to show at home. It's a pain. And Indy is, I hate to bring up her record, but I think most of her bad goes have always been at Twin. So
she was pretty good there.
This year, she's gotten better lately. She's gotten better lately, but early in her early days, she gave me some hell at Twin Rivers. So
I remember when I did it at Peter's place, we moved. He made us do a dressage test out in the back field, which was normally one of the horses' turnouts, and the neighbors' cows came and sat next to the fence line, and that blew my poor guy's mind. It's always something.
Yeah, one of the years right before Kentucky, I ran at Twin in the 4 short, and I'm pretty sure I got eliminated for having like multiple different stops on the course because she was just like, nope, we're not running around this field again, Andrea. We'd run around this field every day. We're not doing it. And anyways, I had to take her out on the Monday and whip her back into shape. And then she went to Kentucky and jumped around fine.
It's
always
crazy.
something.
I can understand that.
Yeah,
definitely.
So you're going to badminton. So what is, I know you're going to stay out west. What are the competitions that you're sort of targeting with Indy 500 to get her prepped so that everybody can kind of keep track of you and make sure we put all the pressure on you to know where you're going?
Well, probably honestly just Galway, the 4 short in March. Maybe the April Twin Rivers, but I don't know. We just talked about that. I would love to come out and do this 4 short at Kentucky, but damn it, they're back to back this year.
Yeah, that would be
so
difficult.
that's a real Debbie Downer. That's a bummer. Because the timing for that would be perfect if I came out there and did that, and if they were all 2 weeks apart like they have been, but they're not. So I don't know. Not sure yet.
Right. Yeah, that gets tough for sure. That's pretty tight. So one thing I have a little inside information on you, and I want to make sure I get this right. I was supposed to find out where you got the nickname, and I don't want to say this wrong, so I think it's Baxter. Am I saying that right? I've got a BAXXTA.
How PG is this meeting?
I mean, it's
very
somewhat PG. You can allude to things. Maybe don't use all the verbiage.
Yeah. So I might have met a porn star one time back in the day.
Met or
Sitting
dated?
in a bar. Huh?
Met or dated?
A little bit of both. Dabbled in.
Nice.
So Baxter, so Beck Breitling is Australian, and so she's always called me Bax, like the way she says it, she says Baxter, and then we just added in the 3 X's and really drag it out. Baxter.
I like it.
Yeah.
Hey, Jon,
and it's stuck. I mean, it's been my name for about 10 years now. So
so I've got a question. I got a question migrating from that. We had Billy Turner on earlier, and we were discussing, Elisa's riding one of my horses, Munson Slew, who's the grandson of Seattle Slew. Tell us about your Slew experience. What horses did you have that was related to Seattle Slew?
Oh yeah. My very first young rider horse was a Seattle Slew, and he was a cool horse, and I couldn't keep him sound and advanced, but he was a real just goer, trier, fabulous mover. Actually, I just didn't know anything about dressage then. I was just a dumb kid going around with his head straight up in the air and his toes flicking out. It is what it is. But yeah, he was a cool horse. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's going to be, it's just really great to speak to Billy, and we're really lucky, Jon and I, to be able to do that, to have a Triple Crown trainer. But it's cool that you rode a Seattle Slew and you love the thoroughbreds. So, you're a testament to what they can do, right?
Yep. I've had a lot of good ones.
So with that, actually, that's a great question, or a great opportunity to ask a question. What else is in your barn? Do you look for mostly thoroughbreds? What's coming up behind Indy 500?
That's the question of the century, isn't it?
Yeah.
No,
Why
she's the only thoroughbred I have right now. I have had a lot of thoroughbreds, and I've had a lot of really good ones. I've made plenty of money selling good ones on to kids to go training and preliminary on. I had an old thoroughbred that I rode advanced, Skywalker. Anyways, I don't know. The future of the sport is a little tricky, and it's just hard to be competitive on them, or keep them sound and all that. So right now I have her son, Gunseka, who's mostly thoroughbred, but his dad is a Holsteiner. And he's a really cool horse. I've done 4-star with him already. He had a little bit of a not great fall. Otherwise, I would have brought him to Kentucky to do the 4 short. I don't think he's quite ready yet. Anyways, and then I have a nice 5-year-old that I just bought from England. Emma Winter helped me pick her out, and she's the talk of the town, and I'm pretty excited about her. She's got a little bit of a sassy attitude, but she's everything fancy that we would love to see go on to be the top horse. So we'll see. And then I just bought another one on the Gores Bridge. Accidentally pushed the old button. The easy button. Yeah, the easy button was a little too easy. So that's just a 3-year-old that'll be coming over in January. He's mostly Irish, some jumper bred stuff. So I don't know. We'll see.
And will you do like future event horse stuff with that? I know you're big into the young event horse, future event horse thing.
Yeah. The West Coast has struggled with getting the young and future event horse program off the ground. And I finally have talked everybody into letting us do it at our place and on a standalone weekend. And so we've done that now twice, and it's been a huge success. And we basically turned it into like an FEI type atmosphere. We got the flags out in the main arena, and we really turned it into like a production. So I think we grow from here. People are pretty excited about it. Not very often you get to produce your horse in that kind of environment. They're that young, so appealing to all the up and coming people. So yeah, I'll try to do that with my guy quietly under the radar. I don't trouble for being an organizer and rider.
Well, that's a pretty good goal.
Luckily, I have Christina to put all the weight on. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we will be keeping track. All right. We'll be keeping track of that, and obviously watching with all the support from everybody for you and Indy 500 heading to Badminton next year. I know you're going to get that
good
done.
Luck there.
Yeah, thanks.
And hopefully we'll have you back on.
Hopefully I can be on time if I get there.
Yeah, I do. I do have to say that was pretty funny when we were just before we got on here, Rick. We have take a little extra time. Andrea was saying that she's not always punctual, and Andrea, quickly tell us what happened to you when you went over to Burley.
I don't know what it is. I thrive on being late. I think it's like the adrenaline of being late just keeps me going. I can't help it. I've been doing it my whole life. But one time at Burley, I took being late a little far. And somehow I had the time wrong in my head, and I was 20 minutes late, and or I was off by 20 minutes, and I'm casually walking up to dressage and on my thoroughbred, and just on the buckles, going around, getting up there, freaking out. I missed to the check-in or the early, the pre-ride ring. The steward's like, "Oh, good, you can keep going up," and I'm like, "I can? That's weird. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll keep going up. That's awesome. Warm up in the main arena. Awesome." And I get up there, and there's nobody up there, and I'm like, "That's weird. Where's everyone at?" And they're like, "Okay, you can go in. You're next." And I'm like, "I am." They're like, "Yeah, you're next. You can go right on in." And I'm just like, "Cool. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, that's me all the time." And everybody was so impressed. They're like, "I can't believe how calm you are." I'm like, "Well, to be fair, I didn't actually know I was late, so."
Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, when you get over there for badminton, what I would like to do is just put this out there to all of your friends to please somebody go with and be in charge of keeping Andrea on time. So she gets in and out of all the competition start times correctly. Please.
Yeah, I have to have a manager.
Yeah, we need a manager. We need a handler for Andrea for sure. Listen, Andrea, we're about out of time. I really appreciate you coming on. Thank you everybody for joining us for this week's show. Rick, it's almost that jolly time of year, and our next episode is going to be our Christmas special. So you better have your ugly Christmas sweater ready to go, buddy.
I will. And I've changed my mind. I like your facial hair, so keep it, and we'll run with it.
All right, perfect. I will keep the facial hair for the time being anyway. So
okay, good.
That's the breaking news from the show, everybody. Until next time, Andrea, thank you so much.
Thank you. Talk to you later. Bye.
Rick Wallace.
And I have Jon Holly here with me.
3 phases, dressage, cross country, show jump. And you're out on course and something's going wrong or going right. You know how to react to what they're doing.
It was built originally to be a schooling facility, and so everything's set up very conveniently.